going on, everybody? This is Ravenscar Gaming here, and today we're going to take another tour. This would be the fourth in the ZooLittles series, all based off Australia. Also, just for everyone knows, that ZooLittles is basically a series of zoos built on the map from the last leg scenario. Sorry about that. The last leg scenario map in the campaign. I really like the idea of miniature zoos, so I decided to use the map specifically for this reason. It's a perfect space to do it in. You know, you pick a certain amount of animals and pick a theme and go with it. And pretty much with ZooLittles, the theme is always about the continent, really. And not just the continent, but there's also a few that are based off of biomes and locations and stuff like that. So I always try to make sure the zoos show off that specific theme's building pieces within the themes of the game. So we're going to go ahead and find a... Excuse me. We're going to find a employee and get into the Digicam and get this show on the road. So we'll start here. This is pretty much where the guests would come in from the docks. So you take a boat to get over to this island, and I hid the spawn points inside this building here. Just kind of nothing really. I didn't decorate it or anything. I didn't feel like that was very important, but I just wanted a place for the spawn points to go to. I could easily have kept the dock area that was already here in the game, but it doesn't match the theme of the zoo, so I decided against it. But yeah, this is the entrance plaza. Come over here, you got your admissions and season pass offices, and got a employee entrance, staff only entrance there. Got your ATMs, gift shops, some seating. Nothing too crazy. So, just like in a real zoo, your gift shops are always up in the front, and gift shops usually have an entrance to exit out of the zoo, and an entrance to go into the zoo. We'll swing around and go in from the other side. But here's your entrance. By the way, I just want to point out I really, really love these pieces they gave us. These, I guess they're like a little bit like carbon fiber. I really wanted to put them into good use. Also, this font, the ZooLittles font, is from Mermaid Tears off the workshop. And the secondary font here is from, of course, Ricey. We all know Ricey. Alright, when we enter the zoo, we'll go ahead and check out the gift shop with some custom doors. Not sure if these doors are really to scale, but I wasn't too worried about realism or anything. I just I don't really play this game for realism. I just enjoy building, and I enjoy looking at the animals and all that stuff. So we come in here, and as you can see, like we've had before in other zoos, these are gift shop pieces. I'm not sure which ones exactly, but we got some from Skylala, and we got some from PlasticSwans, of course. So I could build my own, but I don't think I can do any better than this, so I don't see why not using theirs. I'm sure they don't mind. And we got a adjustmento shop with some custom overhang. Try to do a lot of custom work in this zoo, so hopefully everyone likes it. Also, if you can tell, the zoo is closed mainly for to make sure the game runs good and doesn't stutter or anything. There's a lot of detail in this zoo. Might not be very big, but lots and lots of detail. Got our staff section over here for our staff room. The way I set my work zones up, this staff room is pretty much for everything to do with the entrance, so that includes a place for the caretakers, security guards, and all the vendors. First thing we come to is our dingo feeding hut, and the purpose and the idea behind this was to give a place to where at certain times of the day the keepers will come in and feed, and you get to watch the dingoes feed from here. As you can see, I used some of the African pieces, not just Australian pieces, but I kind of mixed some things together. Got a little bit of a structure, or I can't find my words today. A Well, you know what I'm talking about. The roof structure, the beams. Again, I apologize if the commentary is terrible. I'm not nervous. I'm just, it's not the most comfortable thing for me. Hopefully I'll get better at it eventually. Before we go see the actual viewing of the dingoes, we will go into the cafe here. Once again, constant problem here. Doesn't matter what zoo, what map, doesn't matter which map I'm using after which update. Constantly, on several places in the zoo, they get stuck here. And this stuff should not be a problem. Any other time they can walk through this stuff easily, and now all of a sudden they can't, so I don't understand it. But yeah, just a simple little cafe. Got a Macho Fritz, Chief Beef, and Gulpy Soda. These neat little menus here are created by laurajanerich. Got one for the Gulpy drinks and one for Chief Beef. This entrance, or this exit, comes over here to the bathrooms. I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but I'm using these because in Kentucky we have a restaurant, Outback Steakhouse, which is all themed off of the Australia Outback, and this is what they have written on their doors in their restaurant, so I figured I'd use it. So again, I apologize if it offends anybody. No offense meant. We can swing around here. Another entrance to the cafe. We'll come up here to this awesome, which I'm very proud of, but this awesome viewing platform for the dingoes. Very spacious, with some custom education boards. A little bit of mixed with a little bit of a tropical and desert. It's a massive habitat, but if I'm not mistaken, the dingoes are the Australian animal that requires the most land by square meters. So I went all out. Used one of the awesome blueprints for the shelter that Frontier had given us. And this rock structure in the back here, which at the end we will take a closer look at, is made by RiaPx. Was going to build my own, but I was looking through the workshop, saw that they had this awesome rock formation, and why not? I've used their fonts before. Very, very good builder. Should definitely check them out on the workshop. Links will be in the description. So not too bad. It's a good view of the dingoes. Got one of their Richmond items, a little pool here. Try to hide it with the rocks. Very, very good looking. I mean, they seem to love it, so. Staff entrance is back here. Trying to hide the water fountain a little bit. I hate these things. I think they're hideous. The thing is, I always put them in because no matter what happens, even if I have a body of water inside the habitat, they always seem to complain that they're thirsty. So I always put those in so we can keep that from happening. Yet they still complain. Got this idea, seeing this on an image on Google. I really like the idea of the fabric instead of a hard roof. Let me exit from here. Got some vending machines, a little area to sit down in. We'll go this way. This here in the middle, this thing went through so many ideas. At first I had a education point, and then it was a education point all about foliage from the Australian Outback. Nothing seemed to work right, so I just decided to, whatever this is, I put it here. I mean, it's something, I guess. I needed something to fill the space with. Also, I love these lamps that came with the Australian DLC pack. My only complaint is they're not bright. They have no brightness whatsoever. That's my only complaint. Here we come to the Southern Cassowary. Probably one of my favorite animals in the game, simply due to the fact of how good these animals look in game. I mean, the detail that Frontier went in putting these animals together is incredible. Probably one of the most detailed animals in the game, if you ask me. Come up here to our side viewing area. Very lush and tropical. I didn't want to put too much plants in there. They really were complaining about their traversable area. Got a little bit of a waterfall going on here. I want to try something different, so. Alright, we come around to the other side. This is our main viewing area. Went with a tropical feel to it with a custom beams. And of course, this is all custom too. We use the pallets and the stone blocks, not the temple stone blocks, but just the regular stone blocks. Great view. I mean, look at the detail on that bird. That is incredible. The color, the vibrancy of it, even the feathers. It's incredible. So one of the best looking games. I've noticed with each DLC, the animals look better and better and better. And I have no doubt that Frontier will keep that up. So, all right, to our right here, we got the kangaroos. I guess one of the staples of an Australian zoo. Went with the space in the middle. Used the carbon fiber as the fence. We got a hard shelter over here that has the one-way glass, so we can see into the hard shelter, but they can't see out of it. Although I don't really believe that the kangaroos will require hard shelter. I thought it was only fair to give them something. We'll come over here and we'll look through this custom rock shelter, or rock viewing area. Sorry. It seemed, according to the comments during the, when this episode dropped, it seemed like people really like this. Wish I had done something a little bit better. I thought about putting glass in between here, but none of the glass pieces really fit very well, so perfect timing. Got all that watermelon. I'm very, very, very proud of this habitat, and I have to say, this zoo in general, of the ZooLittles series, this is definitely my favorite. Least favorite being my African one. I wasn't really happy with it. Seemed like everybody else is happy with it, so that's okay, and I appreciate it, but for me, I feel like maybe I should redo it. Something I might do down the line. I guess the difference is when I did the African zoo, I tried to do less grid-based building and tried to kind of go off the grid a little bit. And I don't know, I just don't think it worked out the way I wanted it to work out. Some people think that just building squares all the time and all that stuff is boring. But I don't think so. I think that you can do these kinds of things and yet make the zoo look really, 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 really good with loads and loads of detail. That's what it's all about, folks. It's all about the detail. Here we have the keeper's hut for the southern cassowary. Most of the work zones, the way I have this set up, is all from the Wildlife Conservation Center over here, which we'll check out in a second. So we got keeper's huts spread out for some of the individual habitats, but they all kind of share a same staff room within the Wildlife Conservation Center, which we'll go check that out now. I'm very, very proud of this. Once again, this building went through a lot of iterations before I found something I liked. As a matter of fact, while recording the episode, I built something almost completely and then tore it all down, deleted that recording, started over. I did that about 3 times. I was having very, very bad creator's block. It was horrible. But I finally found something I liked. And I hope everyone likes it as well. I found a use for these shade structures here. I don't know if they're necessarily shade structures, but I turned them into that. So back here is the entrance to the dingo habitat. The idea of this building was not just for the staff, though. I wanted it to be a place where guests can come, pay a little extra money, and they get a tour of the Wildlife Conservation Center, where they can learn about what we do to help these animals. But come into this glass roof structure with some custom lights. Use the ropes and the light bulb here. I wanted to make custom doors, so these are the doors that enter into each facility. Custom doors, you know, blocked off all the windows and made custom windows and all that good stuff. But we got our trade centers, research centers. We got pretty much every facility you need to run a zoo. Come over into the back here, and it's pretty much the same thing. We got the entrance to the koala habitat, which we will be looking at here in a bit. Got our power and water facilities. Again, this is sandbox, so it's not really needed, but I wanted to have a little bit of that realism there. So they don't really function. I mean, they function, but they don't do nothing. If they weren't there, nothing would change. So got our entrance to the kangaroo habitat, and of course, all around you have good views of the kangaroos. They seem very happy. This was always the plan, is to kind of have the kangaroos in the central area of the zoo. So, also this zoo tour won't be so long. This is, like I said, ZooLittles are pretty small, and trying to keep the videos under an hour. I really hate releasing videos that are more than 30 minutes, but sometimes I have to. I'm not always sure what to cut out and what to leave in. So any comments about that in the comment section would be very helpful to let me know what you guys like to see and what you don't like to see. But here we come to one of my favorite builds I've ever done, which is the Outback Education Center. The thing that gets me the most about this is it wasn't done on purpose, but here in Kentucky, this building looks just like an Outback Steakhouse. It looks like a restaurant, and I did not do that on purpose. It just kind of happened. So, but we come in and we have our implied habitat. So this could be something they could put in, maybe like a snake or a lizard or a turtle or just whatever animal you can think of. But that's pretty much what it is. It's just an implied habitat. But we come in here, and to one side we have some vending machines, a little sit-down area with this little partition here. Same with the other side. I just noticed I got a mistake there. These are the fonts by Ricey that are sticking out from the back here. Forgot to cover those up, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. But same on this side. Got some more vending machines and little seating areas. One thing that I didn't do that I should have done is added a bathroom. So now I'm thinking I should have took one of these sections out and put a bathroom in instead. But it's done now. I'm not sure I can do about it now. But again, our little implied habitat with the staff entrance here. I think it'd be really cool to eventually have the ability to do our exhibit animals this way. Maybe give us a little bit of customization option to them, and then you can just throw the animals in. I think that'd be pretty cool. Got our just a little bit of custom education boards for some of the fauna that you find in Australia. I've seen a lot of people do these, so I thought I'd give them a shot and just add some flowers inside the pallets here. I think it turned out pretty well. Same with over here. I think one thing I am missing in this education center is education boards. I didn't really think about that too much, but that's something that would have really helped. Also, this water here, I use the pond, or the little pond enrichment item that you use for the dingoes and stuff. I use that to put the water in. And then over here we got the 4 exhibit animals that you'll find in Australia. Got our common death adder. Again, like I've said in the previous video, I love snakes. They're my favorite animal. We got some right here. Over here we have our, what is this? Eastern blue-tongued lizard. This is the, I actually think that they're called skinks in Australia. But this is the exhibit animal that came with the Australian DLC pack. I think it's actually one of the best looking exhibit animals. There's a lot of detail on it. It's pretty incredible. They're hiding in there somewhere. Unfortunately, you can only have 2. There's one right there. The detail on that is incredible. It really, really is. Besides this, the eastern brown snake, which I think is next, has also some incredible detail. I mean, look at that detail. That is fantastic. Like I said before, a lot of people don't like the exhibit animals, but I love them. One of my favorite things is to build exhibit houses and stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. Brings out my creativity for sure. Also, we got this little custom waterfall. I use the rocks in the background and use the water jet effects. Line them up here, give it a little bit of a realism, as in the places where the water comes in and where it drains to. And put some glass in front of it. I think it turned out pretty cool. And this is sort of like some maintenance boxes or something. Over here we have our giant burrowing cockroach, which it seems like a lot of people forget about this animal. Being from Australia, it's in there somewhere. I guess this is just pretty realistic, right? I mean, I'm sure I've said it before. I can't remember if I said it before, but every time I go to the zoo and I go into the reptile house, this is what they do. 9 times out of 10, I can stand there for 15 minutes and the animals won't move a muscle. Not the crocodiles, not the turtles, not the lizards, not nothing. And yet people don't like the fact that they don't do anything. Well, I gotta tell you, they're moving a lot more than what they do in real life, that's for sure. For someone who's owned snakes several times in the past, I mean, that's what they do. They just lay there. They don't do much. We've got a staff area. Leads out to the back here. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this is the education center. One of my favorite builds I've ever done. It's a lot of fun. There's probably more that I could have done with it, but we'll come out. I just want to point out that these custom walls here. I really like the stone effect. I see a lot of people have been doing it lately, so I really like the stone effect. Changing the color slightly to kind of break it up a little bit. And then I made these custom supports here. It really came out well, that's for sure. This building really came out well. I think maybe I might put this building just by itself on the workshop for everybody. But we come over here, and this is pretty much the staff area for the crocodiles and the education center. We just got our basic staff. Excuse me, we got our staff center and we got our keeper set. Comes around to the back and all the way back here to the entrance to the crocodile habitat. Sorry if these tours move a little fast. Like I said, I'm new at this and I'm not sure how much to linger on something. But please leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what I can improve on, what I did wrong, what I did right. I will willingly take any criticism, as long as it's done in a respectful manner. That's all I care about, is as long as it's done in a respectful manner. But I really need feedback to make sure everything I can improve and get better at it. Like I said, I stutter a lot when I speak, but that's just who I am. It's not because I'm nervous. I just stutter. I've always done it and I always will. Alright, so to the last animal we have here. I made sure to block off the section so you can't see, but we have our saltwater crocodiles up here. Normally it only wants 2 crocodiles. I don't understand the concept of why they say we can only have 2 crocodiles, male and a female, because realistically whenever I see crocodiles there's always hundreds laying around everywhere. But this is a great way to get the view. Of course it's pooping as usual, it never fails. But started out with 2, and then I decided to go ahead and add a bunch more, so I can't really remember exactly how many are here. And I'm also not sure if they can dive properly, because I don't think that the water is deep enough. I built this before the aquatic pack came out, so. But we got some custom fences, custom roofs. Overall, I think the zoo turned out fantastic. Also, I used the logs from the habitat menu, the one that has a little bit of the moss growing on it. I think I said that was our last animal, but we have the koala to look at in a second. But here is the special attraction of this whole area, and that is the underwater viewing and big, huge area up here. This huge viewing platform where we got plenty of seating for guests to eat snacks. And this should have been a little bit shorter, but look over and check them out. I went with the man-made water area here because I thought it fit the theme of what was going on. But I had a comment, a few comments saying, I think it'd have been better if it was just all natural. And I agree, it probably would have been, but I don't know, I just kind of like the idea of giving it a little bit of a man-made feel to it, where it's kind of controlled. It's like a controlled environment. And we got all these custom planters up on the top here to cover up the ugliness of all the path connections you can see here. These path connections. And then we come down to the star of the show, and that is the underwater viewing. These things are pretty cool. Put some vines coming through and some plants on with the education boards. Did the same thing I did with the outback section and added the stones at the bottom. And here you go. What an awesome view this is, really. This is so cool. As you can see, it's definitely not deep enough for them to deep dive. But that's okay. Like I said, I built this a while before the aquatic pack came out, so. But this is one heck of a view, isn't it? Probably one of my other favorite animals in this game. I think the saltwater crocodiles look awesome, and that is an absolute unit right there. He is huge. It's one of the things I like to see the most. And when I go to the zoo is all the reptiles. Plus, where I'm from, we have the Louisville Zoo, which is the closest to me. And we have King Louie, the albino crocodile. Or he might be an alligator, I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But it's really cool to see him. And he's a massive boy, too. Alright, we come to our last habitat here, which is the koalas. We got the ravine here, or the canyon, I guess you could say. It's got a little bit of water in it to keep them from coming over. The one thing that I don't understand about these koalas is, despite being animals who love to be in the trees, they spend an awful lot of time on the ground in this game. I don't know if it's some type of bug or what, but, I mean, yes, he's climbing, but rarely do they actually climb in this game. It's ridiculous, and I wish they'd climb a little bit more, because this really cool treehouse back here is made by the awesome Glitch Magnet. I was just scrolling through the workshop one day and checking things out, and I saw this, and I thought it was perfect for the koalas. Even though it wasn't built for the koalas, but if I'm not mistaken, they said it was built with small primates in mind, and the koala kind of fits that bill. So it was really, really nice, though, and I really love it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever found off the workshop. It's so beautiful. So big thanks to Glitch Magnet. Here you can see I tried putting the rope things that's kind of like a catch fence to keep the koalas from climbing out. Realistically, it obviously wouldn't work, but like I said, we're not going for realism here. I just wanted to put a little fun into the game is all. It just turned out pretty nice. It's not the best views of the koalas you're going to get, because they usually don't come up this close, but that's why I put the feeder here, or the feeding station. But the keepers tend to refill the enrichment items first before they refill the feeding stations. So, but yeah, folks, that's basically it. Like I said, ZooLittles, the whole point is it's supposed to be small, compact, but I tried my best to put a lot in it, and I hope I did a pretty good job. Before we get off here, we'll go out of Tejicam and take a look around. I got one more thing to show you guys. These solar panels here are made by iPod in Hand 257 off the workshop, and they're perfect because the whole idea of the Australian theme DLC was kind of living off the land, I guess you can say, you know, recycle and take care of Earth and all that stuff, and solar panels work. So, sorry if you hear any noise in the background. Once again, the cat's decided that now that I'm trying to do some commentary and some voiceover, it's time to run around the house like, you know, crazy chickens and make a lot of noise. So I apologize for that, but that's the whole zoo. This border here, as you can see, if anybody's wondering, is the limits on what you can build in. So anybody out there that's looking to build miniature zoos, this is the perfect map to do it on, because not only is it challenging, but you can make it look good. I mean, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 habitat animals and 4 exhibit animals on this section. Few of the other ZooLittles zoos that I've done has a lot more in it. So I would recommend not going over probably 10 animals, maybe 8 at the max, because as you can see in my African zoo, if anybody's watched that series, the safari section, well, it just turned out terrible. It didn't work the way I wanted it to work. It's too many animals in a small space. Most of the animals in the zoo are complaining about space in the first place. So even though it's sandbox, I like to try to make sure that it turns out, you know, good. I want the animals to be happy, because I do care. Even though it's a game, I care. So we'll go ahead and take a closer look at some of these habitats, though. We got the cassowaries here. Hid the water pipe in the back, and I built these pretty cool little structure here for their sleeping areas. These are like those little telephone pole things they have in the game, which honestly I didn't even know existed until I was scrolling through there one day and saw them. Thought they were pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, this is... Sorry about that. I mean, look at these animals. Let me find another one who's not running around like crazy. Look at the detail on that animal. That is incredible. I mean, this proves to you what Frontier is capable of. I mean, that's just, it's awesome. We got over the dingoes. We'll get a closer look at this rock formation. Pretty much this whole section right here is built by RiaPx. I mean, it is awesome. Really liked it. Turned out really, really nice. Love the way the rocks were stacked. I'm going to try to do that myself sometime. I'm just not good at terrain work. I'm not good at rock work. And I'm not good at climbing structures. I mean, those are my weaknesses in this game. I hope to get better at it soon. I've been doing some practicing on my own time. So, there's our dingoes. So better look at our kangaroo habitat. That's awesome. I really love this game. I mean, this game is just... I know a lot of people still love Zoo Tycoon, but this game just beats the crap out of Zoo Tycoon. I know Zoo Tycoon had a lot more stuff, like it had birds and all these other aspects of the game that this game's missing, but I guarantee you, we'll get there. If the aquatic pack says anything, it says that they've always had the plans in mind, and they listen to the feedback of the players. And how many game companies can you honestly say do that? Now, I'm not a representative of Frontier in any way. I have no problem of sharing my opinion on them, and I think they're probably my favorite game development company ever, because they listen and they make incredible games. I mean, this game, I mean, look at it. I'm not even playing on, I think I have HDR turned off. I do think I have ultra settings on, but you don't even need the HDR or anything like that. I mean, look how good this game is. It looks incredible. Get a closer look at the koalas here with our staff entrance back here. Now, the climbing structures like these are blueprints that were already made. I just went ahead and added all the extra stuff to it. Added the ropes and all that stuff. And let's get a better look at the treehouse. I mean, how cool is this? I mean, that is beautiful. But the koalas don't use it. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, that tree probably ruins their traversable area, but it doesn't. I've checked. Just, they don't use it. But it looks good anyway. And then we'll get a closer look at the crocodiles. Yeah, this water is definitely not deep enough for them to deep dive. Nonetheless, it's a great looking habitat. This guy's crazy. I would not be in here right now. Heck no. Look how big that one is. Those are absolute beasts of crocodiles. Of course, they're the males, so they're bigger, but yeah, there it is, the Outback Education Center. One of my favorite builds. It seemed like people really liked it. It was a long episode, so I apologize about that. But it's looking pretty good. So yeah, definitely my favorite ZooLittles zoo that I've built so far. I think it turned out great, and I think when you look at it from above, the one thing you automatically think of is Australia, especially if you're someone who plays the game a lot. There it is. One thing I recommend when doing these maps is make sure that your entrance is not huge, not too crazy big. That's one of the mistakes I made when it came to the Arctic ZooLittles zoo that I did, which I'll be doing a tour of soon, is making the entrance way too big and not leaving enough room for all the animals. So, but yeah, before I get off here, I just want to say to everyone who watches my videos and supports me, a huge thank you. You'll be seeing this video a while after I've recorded it, so now I'm recording it on January 7th, and you probably won't see it for another probably about 2 weeks, but I've hit 105 subscribers as of now, and it's incredible. I really can't believe that I've made it this far. 4 months in, and I'm already over 100 subscribers. I have no words. I have no words. I really don't, and I'm so thankful for everyone that has decided to come along and subscribe to my channel and like and comment and share my videos. I mean, I just can't thank you enough. Like, I'm doing this. I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to connect with people who have similar interests in me and who love this game as much as I do. And I'm a decent builder, but I'm not, I'm not the best out there. There are so many more people out there that's 10 times better than me. I like to think of myself as a simplistic builder, as in I build simple things, but I put so much detail into them that they don't look so simple anymore, There's a lot going on here in this small space. So, But before I jump off here, I just want to say again, this will not be the last tour. I will be doing a tour of the rest of the ZooLittles zoos. The way it's going to work, scheduling wise, is Tuesdays will be zoos that have already been completed or I done before I started YouTube, and I'll do zoo tours of those, some of my older projects. But if there's a tour that needs to be done for a zoo that I've completed on the channel, such as ZooLittles, then say ZooLittles Aquatic, the ongoing series I got right now, when it's finished, it comes out on Fridays. The zoo tour of that zoo will come out on Friday. Same with all the other stuff. So Sanctuaries, Reptile World, when I'm done with that, the tour will be on Thursday, and just like Hawk Ridge being on Monday. So remember, Mondays are for sandbox zoos. Wednesdays is for Jurassic World Evolution. Thursdays is for Sanctuary series. So Sanctuaries, Reptile World, and other zoos that I decided to add to that series. And then Friday is ZooLittles, with Tuesdays kind of being a mix, right? So some Tuesdays you might eventually get some more collab with my collab partner Lemonton. I think I've said that right. And zoo tours and maybe other games. We'll have to see. I'd like to get some comments about what people would like to see as in other games. I have some in mind, such as Raji and Ancient Epic. I got a while back. It looked like a really fun game to play, so I wouldn't mind checking that out. And, well, that's pretty much all I got for this episode. If you're new here, I'm Ravenscar. And consider subscribing, leave a comment, like the video, share it. Only if you want to, no pressure. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope my commentary isn't worse than it was in the past. And I hope it eventually gets better. But thank you guys for checking out the video, and I'll catch you next time.